guys, welcome back to the channel. So I'll be building another Zord just because I have the tendency to do them all before I move on to the next project. So shout out to Toymaker 3D for this amazing Tigerzord model. Also a big shout out to the guys at eSun for providing me with most of the filaments that I'll be using today. Just the exception of the Elegoo's gold silk and the bamboo green PLA. These were all printed using the bamboo P1S over 5 to 6 days. And for eSun filament, I did use their white, black, gray, and red. Alright, let's start building it. So probably the hardest part is printing and dealing with print failures. But once it's done, then you just have fun doing it. I'd say it's a more fun version of building Legos since you get to play with it afterwards. If you're hesitant about owning a Filament 3D printer, I just say that this is so easy to use, very minimal mess compared to resin 3D printing, and you get to print random things that you also need in the house. Very worth it if you plan on building models such as this one. I recently switched my super glue to the thicker viscosity one just because the water-like thin viscosity that I was using was so messy and very uncontrollable. Also just know that sometimes it takes a while to glue these 3D printed pieces, so I do recommend getting an Insta-set to help glue it faster. So it's just a spray additive that makes it bond faster. Just be very careful though that since it bonds super quickly, if you make a mistake then you'll have to reprint it again. If you're planning to build anything by Toymaker 3D, just make sure to check the instruction PDF manual that comes with it, because it has specific high friction torque parts that needs to be printed with at least 75% infill. Those parts are usually the joints. I used the eSun filaments as well for my Tigerzord. That's what people have been calling the Dragon Falcon Tigerzord that I made last time. Their filaments work great. I just had to set the nozzle temperature to at least 205 degrees Celsius and it prints perfectly. Also adheres well to the build plate. If you're using any bamboo printers though, just don't let the spool run empty since it can get stuck, or better yet, just print a spool attachment meant for eSun filaments to avoid this problem. A lot of people have also been wanting to see the Brachiosaurd, but unfortunately Toymaker 3D has not made one yet. I think the last one that he has that I haven't made yet is the Serpentarazord. There's also another 3D sculptor named Ryu Yukishiro, which I'll be making one of his models in the future, so keep an eye out for that one. If you get to this arm swivel part of this model, there's a weird part on the gray deltoid part that does not fit for some reason. All I did was push the black swivel in and it broke it off. Seems to be not important as it still worked without issues. Just watch out for that one. Really wish this could transform into its tiger form. That would have been really cool, but I guess that's a little too much to ask since there's a lot of extra modeling and planning involved to make that happen. Just the figure by itself, it just looks really great. So props to Toymaker 3D for making this model. So yeah, just one issue with this one that I haven't had since the Tigerzord build, but for some reason the knee joint for this model is super loose. I thought it was just a printing issue, but it was the same on both knee joints. So to fix that one, I added layers of painter's tape on the inside to make it snug. Nail polish by itself would not have worked since it would require really thick applications of it. So I would say I did apply about 4 strips of painter's tape on each side to make it snug enough that it's working well. So the lower part of the knee joint is also pretty loose, so I had to apply painter's tape as well to fix it. I was planning to paint it up like the Gundam models that I see online, but unfortunately this is FDM printed, so the surface is pretty rough. I can't really sand it since it will just expose the semi-hollow infills that it has inside. I'd say it could work with resin prints, but that will be so much work in resin. Alright, we're into the very last piece, which is the weapon. Then we can start putting it together. Okay, here it is. Man, this looks amazing. I like that it's purposely made smaller than the Chimera Megazord. I'll have to revisit the Tigerzord so it matches the color of the tube. I'll also make it a tad taller just to match it a little bit more. But yeah, thanks again to my friends from eSun for providing the filaments, and also thanks for watching, guys. See you in the next one.